Hey, greetings everybody. This is Anthony Gladney, and welcome back to my channel and to the video I have here. Continuation of the Yamakichi headsets. Yes, and yes, I am using them live. As you can tell, let me see if I put my hand in front of you, you should be able to tell the difference. Testing 1 2 3, 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 and then if I take them up, 1 2 voice goes down, and then if I bring it down, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. All right. So that should tell you that I'm using the headsets. Make that mistake again, right? Now, first thing with the headsets. Oh, almost forgot the questions that I got. Sorry. I have one from a Cynthia 5207. Hopefully you're watching this video. You had a question that says, I have those headsets, I can't hear anyone, and it came with USB. Great, thanks for letting me know it came with USB. Then I have another question from another person. His name is Roger2024. I just kind of split the names they have. That's not his full name, but if you read the comments, you see who you are and who I'm talking about. Okay, all right. So his question was, my mic does not appear to be working. How can I test it using Microsoft tool to see if it is working? All right. So I got two questions so far. I'll try to read through the other ones before I stop recording. Hopefully, I get everybody that I can. So sorry for the delay. I have been so busy on working on so many other projects and working on my financial business also, trying to help families out. All right, so please make sure you check out some of those videos also on the financial literacy to help you and your family out with the today's financial stuff. All right, changes in the economy. All right, so back to the Yamaguchi headsets. Boom, boom. All right, here we go. So when it comes to headsets and audio, microphones, speakers, you have to understand what you're connecting and what you're connecting to. So the question is very vague because I'm not sure what your setup is. So I'm going to do this based on basic computer knowledge. If you get stuck somewhere, maybe I can find a video for you or you can look up the video. Right now, I'm using a desktop computer. If you're using a laptop, most likely it's a different type of connection. You use your Type C connector or the USB connector. And if you have one older older systems, of course, you're using a different type of plug. But the one I'm talking about right now is either the Type C or the USB, in which but I don't know what I just did with the device here for the Type C. I put it somewhere. Okay. Well, you know what a Type C looks like, and you know what a USB look like, all right? Okay, and I just showed you on the headsets, I have this control panel, if you see here. Yep, control panel, and you have to understand these settings. Like right now, the red light is on. The red light technically is only to let you know that it's connected to a system. All right, it's connected to your computer. That's what the light does, right? Right below the light is it's a not a microphone, speaker to let you know when you want to turn off the speaker. So, like if you was listening to yourself in the headset, but you want to turn it off so that you can hear things around you, that's what that does, right? And I'll show you on the computer in just a moment how that looks like on the computer. And then, of course, the microphone mute. So, if you do have these, this is the first thing you should check: is it muted? See right here. So if I click here and I'll click it, it's mute, right? So that's what that light is under the microphone, okay? And then of course you got the volumes. Turn up the volumes, okay? All right. So we established that as your setting. Start off point of view. All right. So let me switch to my computer real quick. Boom. All right. So now I wrote these responses to every user. And based on my number of years working in an IT situation, I tell all my users at work, employees I work with, if you're having issues with your computer, first thing you should do is restart the computer. All right? That will solve almost 80% of your issues, especially when it comes to headsets. Restart the computer. All right? And then come back and test it again. All right. Second thing, unplug any other headset or audio speaker microphone that's connected to your computer besides the headsets. That way you can establish that any other device connected is not taking full control, because sometimes your computer, you can make it a default device, right? So if you have another device microphone connected to your computer and it's the default device, then of course the headset's not going to work. You may see it on the computer, but it may not be working. I'll try to take you through that much as I can. Okay, hold on for a second. Excuse me. Sorry. All right, the heater just came on, so let me turn that off a little bit because I don't want to get all choked up. All right, hold on real quick. Sorry, I ain't supposed to be doing this while I'm recording, right? But man, I ain't got no choice. I'm trying to do this late at night for everybody, try to respond to the emails. And I'm so sorry I did not get back to everybody. Some of them's kind of month old and stuff like that. I am so sorry. I just, like I said, I've been so busy. Okay, so bear with me. And this is funny, right? I'm doing this while I'm trying to talk to you and make a video. But you know what? I'm doing this off script. So that's why I'm doing this now, because I want to make sure I get everybody taken care of and situated. And like I said, if you still have technical issue, message me. I'm friendly. I will try to guide you and help you much as I can. But I have limited hours. So if you do require a little assistance, maybe I'm not going to charge you, but you call me on Saturdays or message me on Saturdays, and I use TeamViewer, and which I have access to, and I can TeamViewer to your computer if you don't mind. I can help you out. I'm a professional IT person. Okay, so trust me. All right, here we go. So unplug other headsets and audio speaker microphones, right? Okay. Third thing, do you have wireless headsets connected to your computer? Now, with certain wireless headsets, you have to install drivers. If you don't know what drivers is, you should by now. Just research it. You can understand what drivers are. I'm not going to explain. I got time for do that. But drivers sometimes can interfere with certain devices that you connect to the computer. All right. And then number 4, what application are you trying to use the wired headsets, the Yamakichis? Which application are you trying to use it with? Please let me know what you're trying to use it with so I can get an idea what the possibility could be. Because right now I'm using OBS, and I have the microphone input with these going into the system to record this video. But I had to go in the system and rechange the microphone because I use other devices too. Like the camera I'm using right now is a Logic camera. And this sometimes I record with the Logic camera, so that means that microphone is on versus the headset. And that's the same thing that could be happening too. If you have a laptop and it has a camera and a microphone, you have to understand that those could be defaulted in the system especially for the application or for the system. And when you plug in your headset, you have to switch the settings either in the application and the computer, or the computer, or vice versa, whatever you want to call it, and switch the settings so that the headsets is what you're using versus the computer. You understand what I'm saying? So I need more information. If you need help, I need to know what you're trying to connect and what application. Are you using a laptop, desktop? Are you using application, desktop, and headsets? Of course, how are you using the headset? Are you using the Type C, the USB, right? Or if you're using the millimeter plugs that looks like, let me see, I have some other headsets here. That looks like this. Are you trying to use it? Oh, wait a minute. Let me show you. Almost forgot. Camera. Okay. Just to make it sure you can see it right here. Either using this or a different type. All right, so back to this. Okay, now out of these 4, it's a lot more things we can go over, but I'm trying to keep the video short for you. Okay, so you're not sitting up here all night trying to look through the whole thing. All right, so you understand these things. Restart the computer, unplug. Do you have wireless headsets already connected, installed? Remove those or disable them for right now. What applications are you trying to use with the wired headset? That matters. Important. All right, so let me minimize this. And what I have here is a couple windows open on all Microsoft type computers. Now, unfortunately, I'm doing PC. I don't have a Mac to do this with. Well, I do have a laptop Mac, but it's a little bit older. So I don't have a current Mac to show you this settings. But my Macs have almost something similar, like sound control, device control, applications. Basically, foundations are the same, but you just have to figure out on a Mac what those are, right? Okay, so first thing first, let's do this. Let's go to your start menu, which is right here, and you want to type in sound. Sound. And then when you come up, type in sound, right? You look at the top under the best match, and it'll say manage input sound devices. Boom. That's what you see here. System sound. This is your foundation for your computer input and output of audio devices and microphones. This where you're going to start with here. All right, I'm going to span this a little bit for right now so as you can see. So if I go down right here where it says input, you see this input? I hope you can see my mouse. And go right here, it says choose a device for speaking or recording. All right. Now, remember, if you're using Windows 11, you have these little arrows that shows you there's a sub menu there. Okay. So don't forget to look for the arrows because then it's a drop down just like you see there. Okay. So I'm teaching computer use right now too. All right. Okay. So you click on the arrow and it drops down and it shows you all the microphone devices or all the devices that have microphone capability connected to your computer right now. So that's why I said if you remove all the other devices as such, unplug them, then what's left is either something that's Bluetooth, wireless, something like that. It is left. So as you can see, I have my camera, but I'm not recording through that right now, so it's not defaulted, or as you can see, it's not checked. But the microphone here, which is the headsets. Now, yes, there's a way to name these headsets. Excuse me. There is a way to name the headset so you know what the name is. But I found out that even if you change the name, it doesn't stay there. And we're not going to do nothing technical, like any kind of real technical stuff to force it to name that way. That just takes too long. I'm just trying to show you the simplest way to deal with what the issue you have. So the Yamakichi comes as a 2 USB audio device, and right now it's set as default because that's what's connected right now. All right, and if you look right below there where it says volume, you see right here where you can see it fluctuating, that's me recording through the headsets. That's what you want to look for on your computer, Cynthia. So if you don't see that on your computer and it's not the microphone is not there and that's not fluctuating, it's not connected, or you haven't restarted the computer. Try those two things. Come here. Let me know. Show a screenshot if you want to send it to me, showing me that it's not there or it is there. All right. Now you may say, well, it's not there. That'd be really hard to believe unless there's something wrong with your USB or Type-C connection on your computer. That can be in place, depending if you're using PC. And if it's a notebook, that port could be damaged. So you have a couple other ports. Either you have 2 Type-C ports, and you can unplug the headsets, put them in another Type-C, or USBs if you have more than one. Put the headsets USB into another port to see if it shows up. I guarantee, out of everything I just explained to you right now, 60% of the time you'll be able to figure out what's going on. Okay? All right. We're going to dive a little bit more into this. All right. We also had Mike who said his does not appear to be working, in which I don't see why it's not. Not unless the headsets are bad, but you can plug those headsets into another device too. So, like I said, these headsets comes with a Type-C or USB. If it comes with a Type-C, then you can take the Type-C and put it in the Android phone, and you can test the microphone there. And I'll let you know that the headsets are working also. And that's what I did. So Android phone, Type-C, plug the headsets in there, go in and check and see if you can see the microphone, which you should be able to see it. All right. And you can record and then you know it's working. Those are multiple ways to see and test that your headsets is working. If you have them and they're not working, return them right away. Get another set. Okay. Now, let's go into this a little bit more. So down below, it has troubleshoot common sound problems. All right. Another big thing that a lot of people don't do, and which they should do, depends on your computer. Let me bring this up again. And we're going to add in here number 5, which is computer, in this case, Windows. Windows updates. Right? Windows updates. A lot of people don't do updates. Some computers will tell you they have updates. It depends on the settings. And if you haven't did them in a long time, you need to check. How do you check for Windows updates? Very easy. And I'm not going to get into deep video details about it, but you go to search and you type in there updates. Boom, it's right there. It says check for updates. And you click on it. And when you have the headsets plugged in, what the computer going to do is say, oh, you got the Yamakichi headsets plugged in. Let me see if there's any kind of drivers that maybe help clear the issue up. Maybe. All right? That can happen. Okay? Boom. So let's get back to this. Let's close that up. All right. So Windows updates. Got it? All right. Let's minimize this. So troubleshoot, you click on input or output device, whatever issue you're having, headsets or microphone, and then that's it. So, oh, I almost forgot the speaker up here at the top, the output. Don't forget this. Now, a lot of people forget that remember your HDMI cables that's connected to your monitors, those carry sound also. And if the monitor has speakers, guess what? They become a output source on the computer. Excuse me. So you need to go here, just like you did the microphone, and click on the arrow. See how I click on the arrow and display all the output possible devices. And right now you only see speaker, which is my speakers I have on my desk. Let me turn those down so I won't make a mistake and get no feedback. And you have the speaker to USB audio enabled. I'm trying to figure out what that one is. Hold on. That is Magic Control. I don't know which device that is. Sorry, I'm like, what is that device right there? That's what some another USB device I probably have connected, but if whatever the case is, that's not the one I'm using right now, but it's enabled. But as you can tell, the computer selected the one that I'm using, which is plugged in right now. Oh, you know, I do have wires plugged in that beeps. That's probably why, but not to confuse you, okay? So right now, as you can tell, the speaker 2.us audio device is the default speaker. If I click on there, right here, now also, remember I told you how you can rename the device? If you're going to keep your device plugged in all the time and not unplug it, you can rename it so then it's there all the time. But once you unplug it, it will revert back to what they call the device name or driver name. Let's see here. If I click on rename, then I could put in there Yamagichi. Let me see. I'm trying to spell it, y'all. Give me a second. I'm not a good speller. Okay, so right here, I could just put Yama. Where are you? Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. Oh, let me make sure. Capitalize. I'm just gonna do capitalize so you can see it. Jimqisish, Mike, right? And then there it is. Rename. Click on rename. Make sure you do that. Click on rename, and then you see the check mark. And guess what? When you click back, it's the name of the headsets, Yamakichi. So that's how you do it. Now, if I go back to sound, right here at the top, go back to sound, you see here it changed the name. See, you see that? Yep, you can see that. So that's how you do it. But remember, if you unplug it, it's going to revert. So keep it plugged in. All right? Especially while you're testing. All right? Good. So, all right? So now you understand the output and the input. Everything that's plugged in is going to show up here. You may ask, well, wait a minute, Anthony, you said you had HDMI connections and possibly the HDMI is a sound device that goes to your monitors. And you are correct. I disabled my HDMI because I don't want to use my monitors as speakers. So I disable those so they're not showing up as output devices. And if they have older, actually, I don't have no monitors. Some monitors back in the day had microphone, but that's a long time ago. So if you want to see the stuff that's disabled, that's a whole different thing. So I'm trying not to do that tonight. Okay. So let's see. Let's go here and show you just real quick. Right here, you see this one says all sound devices right here in the sound thing. You click on that arrow and it'll take you here and it'll show you all the devices that's connected also, just to let you know. All right, that's a quick way to look at everything you have connected. All right, so we'll go back to sound. Mono, you can switch to mono audio. Don't forget that. Input devices, advanced volume mixer. Volume mixer depends on what your issue is. If you can't hear yourself, depends on what program or application you go to volume mixer, and that helps the computer know which volume you want to play. Maybe yours is turned down. I don't know. But go through all these settings and find out if something's not the way it should be. As you can tell, it tells you everything, the applications that are used in the microphone. As you can see right now, sound system is muted. The Google Chrome, I have that on right now. So if I play in video, and then the OBS that I'm recording through right now is there, right? You can reset all these things too. Don't click on reset unless you really need to do that. All right. Don't do that. All right. And then at the top, there you go, output, Yamakichi. See that? And then if you click on the arrow, watch this. If you click on the arrow, I can switch to different devices to make it a default. So that could be your cases too. For the listeners out there, for those who had that question before, right? Let me see. Cynthia and Ranger, right? If check these settings before you do anything else with the headsets. Go through this video again, rewind, play, and go through all these settings and make sure you see this. All right? Okay. And make sure you have the settings the way you want it. On Teams, it's the same thing. Let me see if I have Teams here. So I'm not sure what you're using it for. That's the thing. So let me see if I can get my team started. I'm trying to see if I can get it started. If it starts, I'll show you. But go here, output devices, input devices. A lot of information here, okay? Managing audio input devices. You click on there. It's that. Oh, actually, this takes you to the website. Sorry. That's the website. And you can go there and learn more information, okay? So those are the basic beginnings of looking for any issues with your device, your headsets plugged into your computer. Go here to the system sound system. If I go back to sound, that's your default page. And from there, you go to advanced other devices and more sound settings. Now, where I'm going to take you to next is called more sound settings. All right. If you click on this button here, it's going to open up another sub window. Well, actually, not sub window. It's going to open up another window. Sorry. All right. Let's click on there. Click. Boom. This is a different panel for your computer sound system. It's important that you go here also. Remember I said in the other video where you can, if you want to hear yourself while you're talking, this is where you go. Set that up in your headset so you can hear yourself, record yourself. And like I told you, there's a delay in there. Especially with this type of system head set up, it's a delay, so it can be irritating because as soon as you say something, about a couple seconds later, you hear it again in your in the earpiece, and you're like, "Whoa!" Seems like I'm talking double. Then you tend to talk slow, and because you want to hear it, and that's not good, right? But if you want to do that for a reason, that's what you do it for. Now I'm gonna show you. So you click on the button. I told you, right? Let me close it again. Do it one more time. Go to this sound system, sound, right here at the top. Scroll down to the bottom, and we're gonna go to more sound settings. Click on it. This window pops open. I'll put it at the top here so you can see it. All right. So here is another panel on controlling your input and output devices. All right. So as you can see here, my speakers. This one is, like I said, is another set of speakers. This is a Yamagishi, which you can see is a green. That means that's my default, and other desktop speakers, right? And down here you can configure, set as a default, and properties, okay? But right now we're going to talk about the Yamagishi. Now, if you go to the Yamagishi, as you can see here, it says playback, no sound, right? Because I don't have playback in there, right? So now, if I want to hear myself, all right, let me see if I do this correctly. Let's see, not there. Because right now it's not playing out through there. Let's see, here we go, microphone. So recording, as you can tell, the microphone is level. Let me start with this part first and we'll go back to the other part, this playback. But the microphone, if you go to the recording, your microphone should show up here, the Yamaguchi headsets, which is the USB. Now here you can't change the name. As you notice, the name didn't change. So if I go back to playback, here it says Yamaguchi, here recording, if you click on it, if you go to properties, you could change the name. You see what I just did? Let me know if I went too fast. Go back to record. So playback, Yamaguchi, you want to hear yourself, but you want to change the name. You click on the device, go to properties, and boom, you could change the name here also, right? And forgive me if I chop this name up. I just cannot remember this name for some reason. It's like, why do I have a hard time remembering spelling this name? But I do. See? All right. And you can change the icon too if you want to. And that's up to you. All right. Once you put the name in there, hit apply. The name is there. Right? So if you want to see it, here, I'll go back and show you. See? There you go. Change the name. All right. And as you can see, I got green lines. That means it's recording. All right. Now, you got that part? So click on the Yamaguchi recording, which is the microphone. And if you don't see no sound, click on it and then go to properties. Go to properties right here, and you should see information. It will tell you the jack. In this case, it's black, but because I don't have it plugged into a jack on the computer, so it's not going to show up there. And the Type C is not going to show up there, and the USB. But I'm going to show you a spot where you can check it in the USB, or at least in the computer device manager, and make sure I say it right, computer device manager, where you can see that the headsets are plugged in. This panel is for those who plugged it in using that quarter plug that I show you, right? That one third plug or 2.5 plug. No, 3.5 plug. Sorry, it's too technical right now. Okay, so you got it. All right. Now you want to listen to the headsets in your ears, right? So you go to listen. You go to listen and say, I want to listen to this device in my ear. Now make sure your speakers on the computer's turned down, even though it shouldn't play through there, but that's just to keep for any issues. All right. Click on here, and then you have to hit apply. All right. And then right now I hear the voice in my ear. Now it's pretty close to right sync together. It all depends on your computer. If you have a computer that has a lot of memory or fast processor, it'll process fast and it's just a slight delay. All right. Too bad I can't hear it, but I'm not here for that. All right. But it's playing through. And like I said, you can go here and also, let me turn this off. This is irritating. Turn it off. Bye. Okay. So play back through devices. So I could say I want to listen through a different device instead of my ears. So imagine I'm recording something live and my friend or whoever's on the side wants to hear how it sounds, so he could, I guess, I don't know. However you want to set it up, I can have this playing through a different system. So the playback can go through my speakers on my desk. So then if I had the speakers going to another location, I could put speaker, and then whoever's listening to me while I'm doing this recording, they can listen to it in another set of speakers. Ain't that something cool? Anyway, so that's it. Now, other settings, I'm not talking about all that, but I'm just talking about how to fix your sound or microphone issues and how to check it, okay? So you got that so far. Anything else is just self-explanatory, but just check on all these things, like the microphone level. I don't forget about this. So microphone level. So check and make sure it's not muted. And make sure the microphone is at a tolerable level. You don't want it super loud unless you're not recording, but you want it at a decent 80 something. That's what usually comes up as a default, right? Okay, so you got that. Boom, boom, boom. All three of those. Change the name. Good. Hit OK. And there it is, microphone, right? Playback. And if you go to playback, it's the same thing. So right now, set the device below to modify settings. See, I'm not playing back through my headsets. I'm playing them through OBS. That's why you don't see the meter here. But if I went back to recording and select the speakers, speakers should then show that as an output. but I'm not going to do that because we're not here for that. We're here to make sure your microphone working and your headsets are working, okay? Not the speakers. But that's how you do that, and that's how you check here in the computer. And like I said, if your computer is not showing this, maybe it's the device not being seen on the computer. Hard to say, but everything I showed you so far should solve the mystery on why you can't hear yourself. Now, what I'm about to get into in the next part is a little bit more computer technical. I'll put it that way. All right. So hit OK. If you got microphone there, actually you should at this point. But let's assume you don't. Okay. So let's assume you're plugged in your headset and you still checked all these and you're not having no sound. I don't see how, but just in case. All right. So everything here you checked. No microphone, nothing showing up, no headsets are showing up. So what you want to do is go to Device Manager, right? So, excuse me. So I'm going to close this, and I already have Device Manager window open. But how to go there is basically go to search, and you type device, and it should come up as Device Manager. That's it right there, right? You click on there. Okay, I opened it twice, but here. Now let me expand the window a little bit more for you and the view. Let me see. No, I can't make it bigger. Try to make the screen bigger for you, but you should be able to see that. All right. If not, apologize. Okay, and it's probably this away. Let me see if I remember control. Actually, no, that's for the monitors. Yeah. Anyway, you should be able to see it. Hopefully, you do. If not, let me know. Okay, so this is all the devices connected to your computer internally, externally, everything. So this right here is like the hub of your electronic devices connected to your computer. So don't go in here playing with these devices, clicking on buttons, properties, and everything unless you know what you're doing, okay? Because you could turn something off by mistake, disable it or remove it, and then you'll have problems with your computer. Okay, so please do not go here unless you feel comfortable or you're being guided by somebody. Okay, that's my official warning. All right, so now let's get to the sound. Let's get to the microphone headsets. Now, there are several locations you want to look at in the device manager, because in the device manager, the computer's like, what do we have connected? And then it tells what's connected, and then it tells the other subsystems like, hey, he has this connected, he has this connected, you can use this. And every device or application on the computer will go here. I'm doing simple baby terms. We'll go here and say, what device do I have to record or play with? There. So at the top here, audio inputs and outputs. And like I said, don't forget the arrows. The arrows are sub menus, okay? You click on the first one. Like, this is my main computer, and you ain't supposed to be seeing that. Actually, it doesn't matter, really. Anyway, so, and then as you can see, I renamed the Yamakichi headsets, right? Remember how I renamed them earlier? Yes, they show up here with that name. Ah, nice trick, right? Yes, nice trick. But like I said, once I unplug it, this will go back to the default of 2-USB audio device. So just remember that. Keep it plugged in if you want the name to stay there. If not, it will revert back to the default name, device name. All right, good. So, like I said, if you look here and you have other microphone devices plugged in, like I said, you should have unplugged those before so you could test the headsets better. Otherwise, you can look here and see that the computer recognizes what is plugged in to the computer. So if you see it there, the headsets, it should be no problem. All right, at this point. But if they're not there, then it's back to the connection on your computer. Is it connected correctly? Or is the ports not working? Okay. Matter of fact, probably by now in this video, you already did this and solved your issue. Please let me know, okay? Because I want to know that these videos are helping you out. So if you did all this part and halfway you figured out what it is, please let me know so I know what parts next time in computer technology that I could talk about and how to do it so that I can explain a lot of stuff also. Okay, good. So that's the top part. Now, if you minimize that, I'll show you another half to go to. You go scroll down, and what you're looking for is human interface devices. Now, like I said, this is technical stuff, so don't go in here messing around. Right here, it doesn't show. Actually, it doesn't show. It just shows USB devices. Sorry, not this one. Wrong one. Let's see, where are you? Close to network. Go down to software. Oh, you're right. Right here. Sound, video, and game controllers. Sorry. Sound, video, and game controllers. Click on the arrow, and then right here it should show the devices connected. Now here at this one, it's going to show the default device name. It's not going to show the change name, which is apparently what you can see here, right? You click on it, nothing happens. But if you double click on it, it'll open up this property window, and then with the property window, it will show you the device status. And you should have where it says the device is working properly. Now, if your headsets is not working properly, it will show here what the error is. And of course, it's going to be in a computer language in a way where you have to understand what that means. But basically, it'll be a red X or something here saying it's not working, error, failed, start, or something like that. Excuse me. So, this is like, this part I'm showing you right here is the final straw. If your headsets are still not working when you come here and it's not listed, something wrong with your computer ports. Unless something wrong with the headsets, okay? This is just to verify that your computer see the headsets. If it doesn't show up here, they're not working or the port's not working. And if the port's not working, that means you might be missing some drivers. Like I said, if drivers are missing on your computer, these ones at the top where it says audio input, output, audio processing, and sound and video controllers, these might be red or missing. And computers will tell you if you're missing drivers. I don't have one that's showing that right now, but there is a way. It'll just say driver missing or explanation point on the screen. All right, that's more in depth talking about computers. So like I said, do not go here playing around with stuff. Don't delete anything unless you know what you're doing. All right, good. So at this point, you should have solved your issue. If not, I would love to know what more issue you're having. At this point, you should have solved your problem by now. Okay, by now everything should be working. Let's see. Anything else I can think about showing you? I don't have nothing else to show you from this point without getting more technical. It don't make no sense being more technical when it comes to plug and play devices because they should be working. All right. Oh, shoot. I forgot to close the window. Sorry. There we go. Close, close. All right. So back to my note screen. Where are you? So computer Windows updates, and the final thing is drivers missing, and that's in the device manager. So like I said before, you should not be there unless you're computer knowledgeable, and don't click on anything or delete anything from that page. Okay, just telling you how to check everything before you throw away your headsets or return it. Check everything on the computer first, especially restarting. Okay, so I hope this video helped you out. I was trying to keep this video short as possible. Oh boy, it's around 30 minutes, but by the time I clear out a couple things or delete some scenes, I'll be under 30 minutes. If it is, that'd be great. If it's a little bit over, I apologize. I was trying to keep it short as possible, but I hope it helped everyone out there with this video telling you the problems that you may have with the headsets. I hope. Please make sure you subscribe and like and share this video with anybody having the same problem with the headsets. I love to hear how you fixed it, and if you're still having a problem, that'd be kind of interesting. But if you're still having a problem, let me know, and I could try to dive deeper into what the problem could be. But it's hard to do that unless I know what your computer is, what you're doing, how you connect it, what device you have connected. It's more technical, all right, but I'll try my best. And if any other comments out there that I missed, I will get to them as soon as I can. I'm so sorry and apologize for not getting back. Like I said, I am running multiple social media type platforms. My wife has a book out there, Kaimo the Dragon with One Wing. I've been working on that social media and stuff, keeping an eye on that. I'm just like a social media person right now on so many things. Of course, my business, financial business, church. Also, I am the media person for church too. So I'm watching that social media also. So I'm watching a lot of stuff besides working. But I love it. So let me know how this video worked out for you. I appreciate your likes and comments and everything too. All right. And let me know if something you don't like. I don't know what it could be. Maybe my voice. I don't know. I did cut my hair and shave, so I'm not looking too scruffy for you, right? I guess not. But anyway, so if I am, let me know. But I had to do a lot of work, so the background should be okay. All right, let me switch back to video. All right, so final word. Thank you very much. Take care, everyone. Happy New Year.